As people around the world saw the smoking crater left behind when this was just a field above an abandoned strip mine, they watched crews doing their diligent work.
One of those first responders had a dual mission when he arrived here at the crash site. A Pittsburgh priest trained as an FBI chaplain to serve agents. His mission shifted to care for the families of the 40 victims, providing hope and healing to people around the world.
In the hours after Flight 93 crashed, teams of first responders, many with years of experience, flooded the grassy field of the former strip mine.
It's massive chaos when something like this happens.
FBI chaplain Father Joe McCaffrey was among them.
I prayed and consecrated the ground where life was lost.
20 years later, he says he'll never forget meeting the grieving relatives of Flight 93's passengers and crew.
This is an enormous honor and privilege, and it was very humbling to be that person who was there, and to think of all these other folks who are here just giving their total selves to bring comfort and peace and really understand what's going on and what happened so that it doesn't happen again.
Sometimes, he said, it just meant holding their hand and lending an ear.
I think just being with them and making a connection with them, praying with them, listening to their stories, listen to the stories about their loved ones, just letting them tell the story, and letting them be angry, be upset, be frustrated, complain.
As agents on scene did their work, Father Mac did his, helping to plan the joint family prayer service, and he was on board the bus carrying families to the impact zone.
There are people lining the streets, saluting people. Or when you'd come to pass the state police barrier, they would salute the families. It was just amazing.
At the Heinz History Center, Father Mac's personal belongings are among the collection of Flight 93 artifacts, his FBI jacket and badge, as well as his mass kit and rosary beads. Father Joe, who is also a pilot, points to the faith of the passengers, their selfless courage trying to stop the hijackers from killing others in Washington, D.C.
I'd like to think that I would have been one of the people willing to take on the terrorists. But there's a part of me that says, I may have been paralyzed by fear. So you think, this grace of spirit and courage that these ordinary working folks had to say, no, we're not going to take this. We're going to try to do something. And when you hear the cockpit voice recorder, I had the impression that they almost did it.
In 2021, he wants people to think about the lessons learned in the days after 9/11, how to focus on others, recalling the simple mission of his chaplain work to provide hope and healing.
On that day, when all hope seemed lost, there was still hope, and there were still people of faith. And it's our faith in God, our faith in a just and loving, compassionate, merciful God, and life beyond the grave that sustains us.
As he leads the faithful in the Newcastle area, his ministry, his vocation, enriched by what he witnessed in that Somerset County field. He says, watching so many people opening their hearts to help, reminding us that faith is a dimension of our lives that is always present.
That is my hope, that we remember on that day, yes, a lot of terrible things happened, a lot of evil took place, but there was an even more overwhelming force of good.